The Central Housing and Planning Authority, at an emergency media briefing Monday morning, advised citizens not to be duped during this silly season. This comment came at an impromptu media conference called to provide clarity with regards to the sudden occupation of lands aback the Eugene F. Correa International Airport. The squatters resorted to the illegal action after they were reportedly told that the CHNPA was distributing lands in the vicinity. Last week, about 20 persons were on the site, but this figure had climbed to hundreds by Monday. Minister within the Ministry of Communities, Annette Ferguson, said it was brought to her attention at the weekend that several persons began clearing the lands without permission.
We understand the need of our people is to be properly housed, but it must be done in a systematic and a structured way. His Excellency would have made it clear he do not want to see squatting, he do not want to see slums, he do not want to see shanties. And, the Central Housing and Planning Authority, we are working with agencies such as NISIL, Lands and Survey, by extension Gaisuko, to get lands so that our people can be properly housed.
Ferguson reminded that squatting is prohibited and advised the persons currently involved in the illegal activity to cease and desist, since the authorities have been working assiduously in addressing the housing needs of all Guyanese.
Whomever might have been pushing the steam, I want to discourage them from doing so, because it is not going to do both the agency nor the squatters any good.
The lands, according to the CEO of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, Leland Saul, were earmarked for infrastructural development. He iterated that informal settlements will not work in the best interest of the country.
Point to note, the current squatting has implication for future infrastructure development as it relates to the southern bypass. That is a critical road link that leading from Ogle to Timiri. Therefore, at some point in time, we will have to take the necessary action to ensure that the squatting does not compromise future development.
Saul advised persons desirous of owning lands to apply to the authority and appealed to citizens to not listen and be misguided by persons bent on creating mischief during this election season by encouraging persons to occupy state lands. Meanwhile, Nightly News visited the Cummings Sophia area, where a meeting was held earlier on Monday between the squatters and officials of the Central Housing and Planning Authority. The illegal occupants of the state lands were also given an opportunity to apply for house lots on the spots. In an effort to justify their decision to squat on the land, several persons complained about applying for house lots years ago, but are getting no answers from the housing authority.
To see if I will get a piece of land, and then something else they're telling you again, you got to keep bringing your acknowledgement letter, put your number. This is the fourth time since 2016 that they're getting meetings, and I'm bringing the letter, putting my number, and no one haven't called us yet. You keep going into housing, they said if they have the house, they would call you. You apply for the house, you apply for the land, and you're not getting nothing.
Now they're claiming that we was misled by PPP and but they're claiming that they're only looking after people that in the system. These lands are people in the system were there from 2010 down. So what about us who never apply yet and we're applying like after 2010 and waiting? What about us? We got full farms and wait till whenever. We got no answer for that.
It's the PPP is trying to corrupt the Sophia people, telling we that we have land sharing at the back, just to corrupt the people them. He knows himself that APNU always get a vote from Sophia, and he wanted that to decease, but that would never happen. We all for APNU and we not stopping. APNU all the way.
For the HGP Nightly News, Calvin Abrams.